On the news tonight, Vice President Kashim Shettima calls for multi-sectoral approach to gender-based barriers to qualitative education. Federal government promises to deliver first phase of Lagos-Calabar Highway by May 2025. Nigeria marks World Sight Day with emphasis on promoting proper eye care for children. Hurricane Milton kills 5 in Florida, leaving behind floods, damaged property, and millions without power and water. Join us for details in a moment. Good evening. Welcome to the news at 8 on Lagos Television. I am Yetunde Oladotun Amao. The federal government will continue to strengthen ties with Japan as part of measures to deepen trade and exploit more opportunities in areas of infrastructural development, food, security, and health. Vice President Kashim Shettima assured the Japanese government of enhanced cooperation with the federal government of Nigeria, as well as resolving all the gray areas involving bilateral relations between both nations. The Vice President gave the assurance when a delegation of the Japanese government, led by the outgoing ambassador of Japan to Nigeria, Masunaga Kazuyoshi, and President of Japan International Cooperation Agency, Dr. Tanaka Haikoko, paid him a visit at the presidential villa in Abuja. The Vice President applauded Ambassador Kazuyoshi for an outstanding job in anchoring the relationship between the two nations, noting that the presence of key actors in the administration of President Bola Tinubu, including 2 ministers and the governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, identifies the importance Nigeria attaches to its relationship with Japanese International Development Agency. President of JICA, Dr. Ahiko, sympathized with Nigeria over the flood that recently caused damage to many communities and deaths, especially in Maiduguri, Borno State, saying the sympathy is special because Japan has been a victim of natural disasters. Ahiko extended his gratitude to Nigeria and its citizens for understanding, supporting, and allowing JICA to participate in development projects in the country, noting that the ambassador of Japan has done a good job in maintaining and improving the relations between Nigeria and Japan. Vice President Kashim Shettima has emphasized the critical importance of prioritizing girl-child education in Nigeria, calling for concerted efforts and multi-sectoral approach to address gender-based barriers to quality education. He asks government at all levels, traditional rulers, religious leaders, civil society organizations, and partners in the donor community to come together and ensure that every Nigerian child, regardless of gender or geography, receives quality education. The Vice President, who gave the charge while declaring open the International Conference on Girl-Child Education in Nigeria, noted that the dignity of the girl child defines every civilization. Represented by the Deputy Chief of Staff to the President in the Office of Vice President, Senator Ibrahim Adejia, the Vice President stated that whatever reforms adopted to build a safe space for educating the girl child must be championed from within our communities.
Civilization, and today we are bound by a duty higher than merely observing the challenges before us. We bear the responsibility of setting the tone for this nation, and there is no greater calling than to prioritize the education of the girl child and other at-risk children. This is a mirror from which we cannot afford to look away because the consequences are dire and far-reaching.
And as the UK, we are proud to co-chair that out-of-school children working group alongside the Federal Ministry of Education. We also know that the first step is not enough by itself. Once children and girls are in school, they need to be learning.
Vice President Shettima, however, assured that the National Economic Council, which he chairs, will guarantee the future of the girl child and adopt education as one of the critical thematic areas of intervention. The House of Representatives has urged the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency and the National Orientation Agency, alongside other stakeholders, to collaborate with schools, communities, organizations, and religious institutions to educate the public on the dangers of drug abuse. The House also urged the Federal Ministry of Education to devise practical ways to curb out-of-school girls across the country. This resolution followed the adoption of a motion in commemoration of the 2024 International Girl Child Day, raised during plenary during urgent national importance by Honorable Kafilat Ogbara, member representing Koshofe Federal Constituency, Lagos State. Honorable Ogbara worried about the disheartening high number of out-of-school girls engaged in drug abuse, noted that current data indicates that Nigeria has an estimated 10.5 million out-of-school children who are also users of hard drugs. Other resolutions by the House ask the leadership of the National Assembly to see to the amendment of the Child Rights Act to provide protection for sexually abused children and provide the necessary legislative support in terms of budgetary approvals to the concerned ministries. The House also called for domestication of the Child Rights Act across the nation through the Conference of Speakers, adding that the leadership of the National Assembly should ensure the swift passage of bills that seek to protect women and the girl child, particularly the Gender and Equal Opportunities Bill. Speaker Abbas Tajuddin later called for a voice vote on the floor, which went in favor of the majority. Key players in the education sectors in Lagos State have appealed for more commitment to the development of that sector. This formed a major part of deliberations at the Ikorodu Education Stakeholders Summit. Our Bureau Chief, Adeshegun Igop, reports.
This gathering of education stakeholders and policymakers, including parents and students, at the town hall in Ikorodu is to examine the place of family in child education and social development. Professor Abiodun Oguyemi of the Department of Sociological Studies, Lagos State University of Education, Ekpe, stresses the need for seamless policy implementation and consistency in education development.
In the renewed efforts to reclaim the lost ground, the Southwest governments, including Lagos State, and other regions in the country, must adopt a research-driven approach to synergize efforts of families to create a supportive environment for holistic development of children. Schools that we have now, they have a lot to borrow from traditional education, and we should not lose sight of our past.
The summit with the theme, Family Structures, Child Socialization and Children's Holistic Development, is a transformational initiative to boost learning and teaching through mother tongue.
We have been educated by the lecturer, more particularly these days and time, the parents are moving back and the guardians, and we deliberately pick that subject matter to address the issue of inadequacy in children's education. What the parents need to do is to pay attention. It is the duty of parents to continue that interaction.
Parenting itself is a great thing entirely, which every parent ought to be intentional about.
According to Ikorodu Division Human Resources Development Board, the summit is bringing together key stakeholders in the education sector to address salient issues and challenges and as well offer solutions towards improving learning in the educational landscape.
We want to lay a legacy, and that is part of what we are doing today. If we don't lay the foundation for them, there will not be future. All what we are saying, we don't want cultism in Ikorodu for our children. We don't want them on drugs, and that is the message we are passing.
Being the smallest unit, the families, to be precise, it has a higher impact on the child's future. And your environment matters a lot, because your environment can either bring out your child's future or bring it inside.
Our school is a very good school. They teach us a lot of things, like how we should be good students, how we should keep our environments clean, and as juniors, how to respect our parents, how to respect our teachers.
Highlights of the summit is the recognition of outstanding personalities, principals, head teachers and students for their support to education development and success in the academic pursuit in the division. Adesegun Igop, LTV News.
3 students from Lagos State were among the 9 overall winner of the Wole Soyinka International Essay Writing Competition for senior secondary school students, have been presented with educational materials and cash gifts. The competition, which is the 15th edition in its series, had winners emerging from Lagos, Ekiti, Anambra and Ogun states. Initiated in 2010, the essay competition is in honor of Professor Wole Soyinka's exceptional life career as a distinguished artist and global humanist.
Encourage young writers. We use it to discover talents, those who have talents in writing, reading. We have presented the laptop to them, the education scholarship, to encourage them and to empower these children that yes, Nigeria is a great nation and that they can do better.
Those people that sat there, that we know they have to work hard. They have to do more for their own excellence, for their success. In order to excel in life, it requires your diligence.
Participants who expressed appreciation said the program instilled in them unity, integrity, and leadership qualities.
Professor Wole Soyinka motivates me a lot, and it keeps telling me that I should push to greater lengths and achieve many things to make my parents proud.
While writing the essays, these are those things I gained. I learned to be a good patriot, a humanist, and a right activist, just like Wole Soyinka.
I feel proud, and I want to use this opportunity to inspire others to do well in their academics. This has inspired me a lot to be reading my book always, not to be playing all the time.
The theme for this year's Wole Soyinka International Essay Writing Competition is The Many Lives of an Irrepressible Patriot, Humanist and Rights Activist. The federal government has assured that the ongoing construction of the first 47-kilometer of the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway will be ready by May 25. Minister of Works David Umahi gave the assurance while inspecting an evacuated but now refilled section of the road that has served as a refuse dump site. The minister also says comprehensive palliatives of the 120-kilometer Shagamu-Ijebu-Ode road will begin on October 14. Our correspondent Joshua Morakinyo reports.
Beyond inspecting an evacuated but now refilled section of the road that was once a dump site, the Minister of Works is impressed with level and quality of work on the first phase of the Lagos-Calabar Highway.
So this refuse now is going to be evacuated and taken to as far as Ekwe or Olushosun in Ojota. And you know that haulage is huge. So we're here to let you see just the way we have written you in Abuja.
Take has capacity of doing 1 kilometer of concrete in one day. And so if we are looking at about, say, 80 kilometers, so you are looking about 3 months. So we continue to encourage them to complete the filling, excavation of this refuse, which I would like you to record. And then we continue to monitor the settlement. The additional design we brought in just to, assist the settlement. The areas that we had to increase the height of sharp sand filling. And I'm happy they are using pure sharp sand. I have high hope that we shall get there by May 29th.
Meanwhile, motorists plying the busy Shagamu-Ijebu-Ode expressway will soon heave a sigh of relief as the Minister of Works in the company of the Governor of Ogun State, Dapo Abiodun, inspected the highway. Following the President's directive, the minister says the highway would be fully reopened by the middle of December for the comfort of travelers during the festive season.
We have procured the palliatives, the two carriageway, 60 kilometers by 2. That's 120 kilometers. And I want to assure you that by the directive of Mr. President, latest by Monday, you will see action.
We are relieved that they will be able to hit the ground running. Like you have said and promised, December is around the corner. Most of our people will be traveling from Lagos to the southeast, south-south. So by completing this road around the first week, let's say, of December, we will bring a lot of relief to thousands of travelers. Again, I want to thank you. Thank you.
The minister assures of government attention to all roads across the country.
All over the country, we are doing the beats of Mr. President. All the roads belong to Mr. President, and he represents equity, fairness, and justice.
The Minister of Works, David Umahi, says President Tinubu's administration is committed to addressing road infrastructure challenges across the country with quality and enduring work. Joshua Murakio, LTV News, Lagos.
The Minister of Works, David Umahi, has also directed that the Lagos-Abeokuta Expressway should be reconstructed with concrete pavement to address the threat of water to asphalt pavement. The minister gave the directive during an inspection of emergency repairs of a 7-kilometer stretch of the road within Lagos State. It notes that the Ogun section of the road is already being handled by the state government, adding that concrete pavement would address the threat of water to asphalt. He assured that funds will soon be released for completion of repairs of the remaining 11-kilometer stretch.
But my coming here today has reinforced my belief and my conviction that what we will use here will be concrete. If the investor will not use concrete, he should go out of the road. Nothing is better than using concrete because I've seen a lot of water on the road. I'm told that even the canal was blocked, so the drainage system goes to naught. But if we use concrete, then you can be sure that with good concrete, grade 40, that concrete is very friendly with water. So we'll not have problem of this road spoiling. Do not put any asphalt on the road for now. Take all the bad sections within the place we have scoped, lay the stone base to the level of the existing road. Do not prime it. Release it to vehicle. When you finish compacting it, release it to vehicle. By the month of November, maybe middle of November, when the place is dried, you will come and they put your asphalt. That is our directive. If you do.
The minister also warned the concession of the road and other contractors of road projects across the country holding government to ransom.
After 7 days from the date, if you don't mobilize to site, we will give you warning letter to terminate the job. You see, negotiation must have a time frame. In some of these contractors, we've had to negotiate for 1 year. And when we terminate, people begin to talk. It is give and take. A contractor said, this is how much we want to use to do this job. The client said, this is how much we can afford. And the contractor is insisting, you must give it to me at my cost. But the question is, if I give it to you at your cost, do I have the ability to pay? So if I don't have ability to pay, and you contractor, you are not ready to take what others are taking, people that are even higher than you are taking, then we have no choice than to terminate the project.
The federal government had on September 30 said the palliative works to be completed within 2 weeks. Motorists have been encouraged to imbibe the culture of safe and responsible driving in order to avoid road crashes during the Ember months. Road safety officials gave the advice during the flag off of Ember Month Safety Advocacy by Lagos State Driver Institute. Again, correspondent Joshua Murakiyo reports.
This is one of the busiest motor parks in Lagos. Ojodu-Bega is the melting point for both interstate and intrastate buses. This gathering to my left is about dispelling the Ember Month myths. It's a safety advocacy campaign.
What we are after is safety, which is very germane, which is very critical to Mr. Governor. So we are encouraging drivers to do it rightly so that Lagos will be safe, not only for them as drivers, for all citizens.
So the factor is human factor. And how do you reduce it? Use your seat belts. Make sure that if you want to receive any phone calls, you park your vehicle so that you won't have this distractive driving. Don't take hallucinating drugs that will cause accidents. Have a good knowledge of the road signs. Have a good knowledge of the road signs and a good knowledge of the state traffic law in any state that you go to.
There is no myth about Ember Month. If you know that you are going back home to meet your relatives at home, that will give you the courage to be able to say, okay, I want to be safe on the road. And we also tell them that during this month, their safety is more important to them.
What to do about synergies, state of the cars, physical health such as eyes and fitness, as well as how to curtail the excesses on the road is what is being drummed into the ears of these drivers and owners.
The rule and regulation we do maintain before they came is different. Their own is different. Even though their own is supposed to be a special one because wherever they are coming from, there's a rule and regulation. But when they come to Nigeria, they behave, this is my country. They can do and undo. We are using that opportunity to address ourselves that calm down. If you can succeed this year, definitely you will do the next year. But if you payment for this year, no hope for you for next year.
Advocacy, continuous engagement of drivers will go a long way to let us achieve our aims and objectives.
According to LATSRI and other road safety officials at this advocacy campaign, there is no special devil about the Ember Month. Obeying road safety laws plus contentment is a sure way of dispelling the Ember Month myths. From Kosoko bus stop here in Ojodu-Bega, I am Joshua Murakiyo, reporting for Lagos Television News.
Still ahead. Joint Health Sector Union issues 15-day strike ultimatum to federal government to meet its demands. That's in a moment. Please stay with us. Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has assured that major works on the new Mercy Children's Hospital will be completed by the end of the year. He made this declaration after inspecting the construction site of the world-class pediatric hospital. Aditola Kayode reports.
What would be the biggest children's hospital in sub-Saharan Africa is nearing completion inch by inch. Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, alongside his team, paid another visit to the construction site of the new Mercy Children's Specialist Hospital, a 130-bed multi-floor specialist facility for pediatrics, strategically designed to overcome health challenges and also carry forward the legacy of Mercy Hospital as a global healthcare institution. Governor Sanwo-Olu says he is happy with the level and quality of work by the two construction giants handling the project.
The current Mercy Children's Hospital, which is almost 100 years old, the minimum we can do is to not only just bring back that name, but put up a structure too that will last another 200 years. And you can see from what we're doing here, this certainly will last centuries. So I'm happy with the commitment and the quality of work that has been done. The multi-level car park has gotten to the height that we require, and the hospital has one more floor and it has an helipad on top. So we're on course. We believe that we should be nearing completion sometime next year. All of the major civil works will be will be completed by the end of this year. And we're hoping that the commitment that we see here, you will double it, because at the end of the day, if it's not completed, it's not done. It's only when patients begin to come here, kids and mothers come here and get well, that we can say that we've done our job and we've completed it.
Aside contributing to the regeneration and outlook of the neighborhood, the end game for the 15th governor of Lagos State is to erect massive infrastructure that will outlive its generation in all the 5 divisions of the state.
This is one of our major health projects, and there are several of them. If I must say, there are about 4 or 5 projects, almost of this size, if not bigger, that we're doing in different parts of the state. It's going to bring about further regeneration of this entire neighborhood. The chairman of LCDA, you can see right opposite, he's also been challenged. He's redoing his entire secretariat, befitting what is here.
It's going to serve the people of Lagos Island meritoriously. Our children will be they have a very good access to health care service, and all our PAC is also in place to support.
Governor Sanwo-Olu, who says Lagos deserves the gigantic edifice and more, is looking forward to the commissioning of the new Massey Children's Hospital with multi-level car park plus a helipad early next year. Adetola Kayode, OTV News.
The Lagos State government, through its domestic and sexual violence agency, says it is committed to eradicating violence and discrimination against persons living with disabilities. This reassurance was given during a sensitization program for persons living with disabilities in the state. Ayola Adilisi has the details.
People with disabilities face 1.5 times more violence than people without disabilities, as the perpetrators are often people known to them, such as their partners, family members, friends, and acquaintances. It is estimated that 15% of the world's population lives with one form of disability and are more likely to be poor and socially excluded. At this one-day sensitization program, Executive Secretary, Lagos State Domestic and Sexual Violence Agency, Titilola Vaivo Adeniyi, says Lagos State government remains committed to inclusive governance, hence the sensitization program.
We're trying to engage them from a preventive lens and then letting them know about our services that they and their colleagues, the other persons with disabilities, can take advantage of. And this is not a one-off engagement. This is just an entry point to this sector. We hope that in the coming months we'll continue to engage and we'll go to each cluster, engage them as it concerns them.
I think that there's no better time than now. I also feel that they will take the message down to the grassroots. One of the reasons we are collaborating and partnering with DSVA is because we already do activities geared specifically towards women and girls with disabilities. And our findings is that the more you let them know, the more you encourage them to step the information down to members of their clusters.
Speakers and participants commend the agency for putting up the program to enlighten and educate persons with disabilities.
Let me commend the Lagos State Domestic Violence Agency for coming up with this kind of thing. Yeah, we have been facing it. When I say we, I mean persons with disability across the board have been facing one type of gender discrimination, violence, and things like that. So this awareness, I think, is laudable and is commendable too.
You cannot control whether you are abused or not, but you can speak out. Let people know that something is happening to you, notwithstanding whether you are threatened or not. You talk to somebody, because most of the perpetrators, they live large. I mean, they live on the fact that you are keeping quiet.
Very, very good thing that now that we're talking about it, people are encouraged to speak up, one. People are encouraged to step up in the area of their self-esteem. And the society at large, they're being made aware that for the fact that you're dating or you're married or you're friends with a person with disability, you're not doing them a favor. Persons with disability have equal rights under the law with other people.
Persons with disabilities were advised to join their community and speak up whenever they are abused, as it will go a long way in curbing the menace in the society. Ayola Adelesi, LTV News.
The Lagos State government marks the World Sight Day with calls on young people to make their vision a top priority. Special advisor to the Governor on Health, Dr. Kemi Oguyemi, says the state government will continue to create awareness and draw attention to the care of the eyes among children. Aminat Elegushi reports.
Data from the World Health Organization shows that over 1.5 million children worldwide suffer from blindness, with a staggering 3/4 of those cases found in Africa and Asia. This is why October 10 is marked globally as World Sight Day to create awareness about vision impairment, blindness, and the importance of eye health. At this event organized to commemorate the day by the Lagos State government, Special Advisor to the Governor on Health, Dr. Kemi Oguyemi, says this year's event is a testament to the state government's commitment to eye health, especially among the young ones.
Fight to prevent avoidable blindness in our state did not start today. The Lagos State Blindness Prevention Program was initiated in the year 2000. The School Eye Health Program, launched in the year 2006, augmented the initiative, reducing the burden of childhood blindness in the state. The initiative has recorded success, reaching out to over 180,000 pupils. A total of 2,002 teachers have been trained. 1,001 schools have been equipped with vision screening kits, and 859 vision corridors have been mounted.
Speakers emphasized the importance of regular eye checkup, early intervention in eye condition, and prevention of avoidable blindness.
We're targeting children because basically we know from statistics, from research, from data, that our school children actually, some people have issues with their eyesight, which prevents them from excelling in school. And also some people have other eye diseases that need to be corrected. So we're bringing it to the kids this time who will go back home and ensure that their parents, if they complain about their eyes, their parents should take them to the nearest hospital to see an eye doctor so that they can be treated. No treatment at home, no self-medication. The eyes are delicate.
So we're creating that awareness in the States. Lagos State has been doing that. We have the School Eye Health Clinic, in which basically school children, they do come to access them, do their eye checks, they screen them. For those with refractive errors, they are given medicated glasses. For those that have other childhood eye diseases, they are also treated. For those that require surgery, they are referred to the general hospitals where ophthalmologist actually takes them home.
Highlights of the event include health talk, an eye screening exercise for pupils and teachers. Pupils with refractive errors were provided with medicated lenses, while those with other eye conditions were referred to eye care centers for further treatment. Aminat Elegushi, LTV News.
Another set of journalists have been trained in proper dissemination of information surrounding the use of multiple micronutrient supplement by pregnant women. The training will help the target audience understand the various benefits of the medication. Health correspondent Aminat Elegushi again reports.
This training of journalists, organized by Alive and Thrive, has been a regular exercise aimed at providing information needed for journalists to encourage nursing mothers about the various benefits of taking multiple micronutrient supplements, MMS, as against ordinary iron and folic acid. The supplement, which has 15 nutrients, experts say will be beneficial to both mother and child.
Decided to now include multiple micronutrients among the essential drugs that woman who attends ANC, based on the ANC examination, she will also be given multiple micronutrients. In some cases, it doesn't mean that she will not be given IFA at certain point, depending on the deficiency, especially iron, which is the most important. Overall, the idea is to decrease anemia among pregnant women. Anemia has a very, very, very serious side effect on pregnancy and also the child she will have.
Participants who lauded the initiative say the knowledge acquired will be used on their various platforms.
Communication has to be effective. If the audience in this case, talking about multiple micronutrient supplements, you're talking to people who are at the far extreme, not necessarily economically, educationally, or otherwise, but the far extreme in the sense that the people who require the information, who are far from the information. So you must speak in the language they understand. You must be able to communicate the benefits. You want them to change from the norm to this way of taking care of themselves, maternal health, child health. You have to be able to tell them in terms and in words that will cause a change in their behavior.
We need the media to think outside the box, to think of the best way, the best possible way, and the best possible language to reach out to, one, the leaders, religious leaders, opinion leaders, husbands, and of course, then the women.
Women of reproductive age and expectant mothers are advised to take the supplements once a day to prepare the body to conceive and also help aid child development. Aminat Elegushi, LTV News.
In the meantime, public health care workers under the aegis of Joint Health Sector Union have issued a 15-day ultimatum to the federal government to address lingering issues with the union ahead of another round of industrial action if government does not do so. The national chairman of Joheso, Kabiru Manjibir, said, and the national secretary, Martin Egbanobi, noted that the federal government has not been able to address their demands since June last year when they suspended the strike following the intervention of President Bola Tinubu. The union's demands include non-payment of COVID-19 hazard allowance to members, the demand for tax waiver on healthcare workers' allowances, and call for the immediate suspension of the plans to establish an agency that regulates the activities in the national health facilities. This means, with effect from midnight of Friday, October 25, members of the federal health institutions would embark on 7 days strike. The union says if at the end of the 7-day warning strike, the federal government fails to meet their demands, the union will embark on an indefinite strike. Recalled that Joheso embarked on strike between May 19, 2023 and June 6, 2023 last year, a 2-week period that almost crippled healthcare services in public hospitals. Coming up, landing cost of petrol drops to 975 naira per litre. That's on Business News. Please join us again.
On Business News tonight, the landing cost of premium motor spirit, popularly called petrol, has dropped to 975 naira 89 kobo, according to the latest data released by the Major Energies Marketers Association of Nigeria. The decrease in the landing price is expected to lead to a corresponding reduction in pump prices at filling stations across the country. Crude oil prices and foreign exchange rates are the major factors determining the cost of refined petroleum products, including petrol, diesel, aviation fuel, and kerosene. However, the extent of the price reduction will depend on various factors, including the cost of transportation, storage, and distribution. Meman data also revealed that the landing cost of automotive gas oil, also known as diesel, stood at 1,079 naira 35 kobo, while that of aviation turbine kerosene, known as aviation fuel, stood at 1,111 naira 97 kobo per litre. The Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry has established a mentoring program in a quest to raise young entrepreneurs who will excel in the business world. This is coming at a press briefing by the Chamber to announce the 2024 International Trade Fair holding at the Tafawa Balewa Square from November 1 to 10. A member of the Trade Promotion Board who briefed the media says this year's fair will include about 800 foreign and local exhibitors and a children's corner and free entry for the 10 days.
To support the Lagos State Government's efforts on youth empowerment, the Chamber is subsidizing exhibition booths of 1.9 million naira for LIC at the 2024 LITF to host their trade exhibitions. In our quest to raise young entrepreneurs, LCCI established a mentoring program, and year after year, we expose graduates of the mentorship program to exhibit free of charge at our fairs. This year, they will be coming in larger numbers to be part of the fair. Once again, it's free entry to the fair.
Because we have a lot of discounts at the fair, and so things are a bit cheaper, and Nigerians can benefit from it. Also, why tax people to enter? If you're right about it not being so much about the revenue, but the well-being of the people is important to us at the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry. So we believe that just understanding and being empathetic with Nigerians about the economic situation, we should actually make it free.
This year, we are poised to do much more than we have done before. We as usual, we have external security that is being taken care of by Nigeria Army. That's why you see their deployments, around the fair. Then within the fair, we are partnering with Nigerian police, different departments. We're going to have anti-terrorist group present in there.
With the theme, Connecting Businesses, Creating Value, the 38th International Trade Fair is also in partnership with the Lagos Island East Local Council Development Area for a seamless and conducive environment. We now leave you with tradings on the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange. Nigerian light middleweight boxing champion Damilare Arowolo, fondly called Ugly Wolf, says he is ready to defeat Leonard Edem Azuma of Ghana in the forthcoming future legend face-off billed for Wisdom Boxing Gym, Accra, Ghana. The fight holds on October 27, 2024. Damilare Arowolo, who is fighting on the card of Gloves for Africa, will represent Nigeria with 5 other boxers in Ghana. Damilare, who won a bronze medal for Borno State at the last National Sports Festival, says the bout will be his last as an amateur boxer.
Because I believe in myself, so I work so hard for it, so I'm ready to fight, so I'm going to win. That's my belief. If I keep saying I did a lot of things in my life, so it's because of them I'm still fighting boxing to today, so I appreciate them. I go continue to bless them. I really appreciate them. I need more fights, so I'm ready to fight anytime. So I believe in them, though. I know they will give me a good fight or fight. So I'm ready to fight anybody that comes my way.
Bronze medalists at the recently concluded National Youth Games in Asaba, Delta State, Maria Ademodi and Israel Makinde, a gold medalist at the National Sports Festival in Delta State last year, has called on corporate bodies to complement government's effort to take boxing to a desirable height in Nigeria. They praised Gloves for Africa for the provision of boxing gloves, punching bags and other items in assisting them in their chosen career, but said more is needed to make them world champions.
Most times we don't have equipment to pull up the work, and that's make us feel depressed and we won't be able to train. Boxing is my hobby now. I love boxing from day one, from when I was born, because my brothers was into sports and we like doing combat stuff. That's why I put on boxing. I mean, being a member of Dream Boxing, I make me achieve because I've been exposed. Not about boxing, I will be maybe around the corner. But with me joining boxing, I've been to so many places I don't even dream about being to.
I go into boxing for self-defense and to pursue my boxing career to a higher level to fight for my country, Nigeria. Glove for Africa, I've really tried. I've really did a lot of things in my life by producing good glove, head guide, and some other equipment using to make me train and to make me achieve my goals. Need more trainees and being more exposed, go to so many places.
Gloves for Africa, funded by Chuks Nwaechi, with a mission to use boxing as a tool to positively impact young individuals from underprivileged communities by promoting discipline, motivation, and a sense of purpose, with the aim to inspire youth to reach their full potential and become champions, both in boxing ring and in their communities. Since their inception, they have supported over 8,000 young individuals, many of whom have a deep passion for boxing. They dream of following in the footsteps of icons like Anthony Joshua, Lennox Lewis, Muhammad Ali, Israel Adesanya, and Alexander Usyk. Creative Director, African Coordinator, Gloves for Africa, Femili Olawuyi, said, however, they have noticed that many of these aspiring athletes face barriers, such as lack of access to essential boxing equipment like gloves, punching bags, and coach pads. Without these tools, they often drift back to the streets.
Ever since we started helping these young individuals in the challenge communities, we've discovered that a lot of them have scaled through in their career. Some of them have represented their states in the last 8 national sports festival in Asaba. Some of them came out with good medals, and some of them went to represent the nation at the All African Games, and some of them also qualified for the Olympics, the last Olympics that went by. So we believe doing more of these, we'll be able to get more of these potential boxers. And also, things we have done is by using boxing to pick a lot of people from the challenge communities who are faffing around doing nothing in order to make them discover and maximize their potential.
Gloves for Africa aims to reach youths across the continent. Roy Macro.
Thank you for staying with us. Florida residents are being warned not to visit areas hit by Hurricane Milton after it brought tornadoes, floods, and storm surges to the state. More than 3 million homes and businesses are without power, while Governor Ron DeSantis says more flooding is expected in coming days, as 5 people were killed on the state's east coast in St. Lucie County. The total number of deaths throughout the state is not yet confirmed, according to DeSantis, though reports from local authorities indicate the toll is likely to rise. Milton is moving into the Atlantic, but many parts of the state are flooded, with some people being rescued by boat. Let's take a look at tomorrow's weather forecast. Before we end the news tonight, another recap of our top stories. Vice President Kashim Shettima has called for multi-sectoral approach to gender-based barriers to qualitative education. The federal government has promised to deliver the first phase of Lagos-Calabar Highway by May 2025. Nigeria marked World Sight Day with emphasis on promoting proper eye care for the children. We also told you that Hurricane Milton has killed 5 persons in Florida, leaving behind floods and damaged property and millions without power and water. For more news, please connect with Lagos Television on these social media platforms. All our dreams can come true if we have the courage to pursue them. Please remember to call Lagos toll-free lines to 767 or 112 in case of emergencies. Thank you for watching the news at 8. On behalf of everyone here, we wish you a wonderful night.